Hello and welcome everyone. This is uniwarriorJW and yeah, I'm actually new on YouTube and I thought maybe I should do some YouTube as well, like all my other friends from Rakania Gaming. Um, um, so I thought maybe I should do some YouTube as well. Um, my favorite things to do is Minecraft, but not like survival things in Minecraft. I like to experiment with the different things that come out and basically just creating different machines. So today I'm in this redstone world. As you can see, I'm creating a bunch of stuff. Well, this is not one world. There are a bunch of other worlds that have been removed because of bugs or sometimes too much explosions. My first world was removed because I was experimenting with TNT a lot, and a lot of creations were basically blown apart or blown in pieces. So I'm just gonna give you a tour, very short tour. This is kinda an dark room I was trying to experiment on. Um, this this was a little system I tried to make, so I kind of tried to create redstone components in this world. This was trying to figure out how the riding command works. Apparently that's out of the game. Now they're using passengers. Um, so yeah, I also try other things. Try to take designs from the internet and try to make it a little bit more complex or to add stuff. Also, explosions are still in the game, and yeah. Today, what I actually want to talk about, I want to talk about redstone in this series, and because I'm studying in informatics and a lot about computers, I thought, well, maybe we can do the same things in Minecraft through redstone, because a lot of things are uh, very similar to electricity, not in a big way, but like the problems and the solutions you need to come up with to solve the problem. To solve the problems are the kind of the same. Well, but today I actually want to start very easy, just so you know what kind of skill I am. Even though this will probably not show all of my skills, but I hope you would like it. I'm gonna try to go over a few ways how to hide and how to create secret doors and stuff like that. Um, yeah, and I hope you enjoy this clip. So most of the time, basically, uh, this is one of the designs you have. So basically, you have a painting and then a door behind it. This is very unique. Well, not unique. Actually, what I think it's not that good. First of all, well, okay, it's kind of obvious you cannot go through, so you would think there's no doorway. But there are a few things that are kind of against this. First of all, um, the painting, nobody really uses a painting, so if suddenly there is like one painting in the whole house, uh, that looks kind of suspicious. So if you just take it away, you see the door immediately and you see all the stuff that's behind it. Another thing, if you do use paintings, put it in like the door one block up if you're having a floor which is 4 blocks high, and that way it looks less suspicious, because a painting which is hanging on the ground looks more suspicious. Other things that I see players using is using a trap chest, because a trap chest, if you open it, it gives a redstone signal. I also don't think this is a good design, because yeah, if you're a person who is very curious and wants to look in all the chests, what's in there, and they open a chest and suddenly it unlocks a door, that's kinda suspicious as well. Now, I'm here to actually show you very nifty ways, very advanced ways to open stuff. Now, the first thing I want to show you is some secret doors. So how can you hide a room or a corridor? Now, of course, it's very simple. I don't know if I have this around. I don't think so. Maybe I do. Is this it? I don't know. Basically, if you have a room which is just where the ceiling is just 2 blocks high, so the floor is just 2 blocks high, um, it's very simple. It doesn't really stand out if it's a door or not. It just looks like a normal wall. You pull the lever, and there is a door. And it's very easy because the pistons are above it or underneath it, which of course covers the whole thing, and you don't know that there is a door there. However, if you have, of course, a floor which is much taller than 4 blocks, then it will stand out a little bit because you cannot hide the blocks. Like, you would need to put the pistons uh, in the wall. Like, if I would take a piston, you would do something like this, basically, and then do something like this. But then you need to hide the pistons, and that, of course, makes it pretty obvious that there is a door. Now, you could use, of course, some, I don't know, some really cool structures in the room, like some patterns, maybe some walls where maybe it doesn't really look like there is a door behind, so you could do whatever you want by just shaping your floor. But if you want to solve this problem, you will actually need more than 2 pistons. You will maybe need 6 pistons, yes, for just one side. So basically what you would need to do is put pistons behind it to push blocks into the wall, and then you would also need pistons to actually retract the pistons which are, sorry, behind the blocks. I'm wrecking everything. It's basically something like this. So the block and these pistons would need to be retracted in order for the player to get through, and these pistons are needed in order to hide the door into the wall. This is an example, I think, maybe. No, this is not an example. This is no, this is not an example. Do I have another example somewhere? I don't think I have an example. Oh yeah, this is maybe is this an example? No, no, no. This is just an example in how bad it is to have such a doorway, because it's not secret at all. I'm looking for it somewhere in my redstone world. There would be an example, at least one. This is a 3x3 doorway, which is not kinda advanced. I'm looking for it. Where could it be? Oh, well, this is not really to put in a wall, but actually the cool thing about this design is you can also put it in the floor or in the ceiling. So basically, as you can see, it's the same design. I'm actually gonna pull it like this so you could see it better. So we have a piston with a block above it and 2 pistons there to push or retract the block with the piston to make the doorway. Now I put one of those for 4 times, so you get a 2x2 hole, and basically you could put this in the wall as well. Maybe I should explain how it's wired. So basically, the signal goes down, just use these repeaters to go down. Then first, a direct signal is going through these torches with 1 tick delay, and then 2 ticks further it goes into a NOT gate which retracts. So basically, if I turn this on, these torches are deactivated first, which lets these pistons retract. Also on the other side, it's basically the same thing. It goes like here, and then it goes like here, like this, and then it deactivates these torches. Yeah, so basically it first deactivates these torches, then 2 ticks later this torch gets deactivated, which lets these 4 pistons retract. Basically it's a huge NOT gate. So if I turn this on, it actually shuts down all shuts off all torches. Yeah, something like that. So if I turn this, of course the same applies over here for these pistons. Only you see only one repeater on 3 ticks, which replaces the 1 tick and 2 ticks. So basically you could replace this by 1 repeater on 3 ticks. So first these turn off and then these turn off. So when I turn this on, what would happen is these torches will go on first, but nothing happens because there is nothing above it. Then when the pistons are pushed into the middle, they will see the torch underneath them and they will push the blocks above. And you could basically rotate this whole design into the wall or into the ceiling. It doesn't really matter. So if I pull this lever, the door perfectly blends into the floor. And if I open this, a hole would appear and you can fall through it. There is no kind of thing. Of course, you could maybe hide this a little bit better or wire this a little bit better. Yeah, that's cool. Okay, so that's a little bit about secret doorways that you could use. But the cool part about this though is using secret very awesome activators to unlock them, things that you would not suspect. Of course, you could something use like a wooden button on wood or a stone button on stone or something like that. But I'm going for the advanced now. For this, I just used a normal door. Basically, what you need to do is get the sequence right. No, this is not the sequence. Let's a little bit hack into the sequence. Okay, it's not right. It's also not right. It's too low. Maybe like underneath it. Maybe a little bit more. No, a little bit more. Yes, okay, that's right. Almost underneath. Voila. So this is a really cool thing. So basically what I'm using is a comparator. Now a comparator is a very cool nifty thing that redstoners can use because it reads information of a block. Basically it reads information out of the environment and converts that into information for redstone so that redstone can carry. What you probably would know about this is that you take a chest, right? Or actually, just for demonstration purposes, I can take a dispenser and I'm going to take a stack of this. Reason why is the dispenser has a lot less inventory, so better to stack. Okay. So basically, if you put stuff in there, you see the comparator say there is stuff in there, so I will give a signal of strength of power 1, which you see at the right hand side. If I put more in there, like this, you will see it suddenly gives a power of 2 and a power of 1. So it gives us information and how much percentage this inventory is full. If I would put the same amount of blocks, for instance, into a hopper, which has less inventory, I would get 3 signals because it's the same amount of items, but the percentage that is taken is a lot more. But comparators are not only nifty for those, but also for a lot of other blocks. So I'm gonna give you a quick example where it can be used for. One of them is a jukebox. So I'm gonna just increase this a little bit, and just for demonstration purposes. gonna put some redstone lamps across this so you would perfectly see the level, and to make it a little bit better, we're gonna make it nighttime. So if we take a disk, like let's say cat, awesome. You see that this music disc has a power level of 2. Okay, stop the music. No, it's good music, but still. It's just a demonstration. You see, this music has a power level of 3. We can keep going actually, I think. This is 1, probably 2, 3, maybe take something which has a little bit more value. This has a value of 7. So that's awesome. So every disk has its own, redstone value. Let's see what we can do. Something else. I don't think node blocks do something. Let's test this. Okay, redstone is about testing, of course. Let's look through the menu and see what we have. This apparently also does something. Let's try it out. So this would do nothing. And if I put an ender eye in there, it gives a fill signal. Of course, it's just difference between 0 or 1. Repeater would do nothing. The comparator, as I said, reads the information of the environment and turns it into redstone information. So let's see what we can use even further. I'm gonna remove my inventory a little bit. Of course, we can use a daylight sensor. And if you right click it, you get the dark level. So now this has a power of 11. So if I wait, let's say time set, let's say 20. Is that a number? That's not a number. Okay, or is it? I don't know. If I put it back to 15, okay, nothing really happens. 12. Okay, power of 0. Just experimenting a little bit. Oh, 1. Okay, we get a signal of 1. Let's see what happens if I do 3. We get a power level of 6. So, of course, if we rotate this, we get different levels. So this would be 2. So this would then decrease the more. As you see, it's now turned to power 1. If I turn this on, this should be already 9. Okay, interesting. So this would be a dark sensor, and this is a light sensor. Oops, did not meant to do that. We have also other things, like for instance item frames, which you saw over there. So basically item frames, pretty cool things. Let's use a block. Every time you rotate this, this gives another signal. Like so. So awesome. Cool drone. Drone. Okay, spelled like this, okay. And just, I will not show you everything, but just a little bit like what it can do and stuff. So if I put 1 in there, it apparently does nothing, but okay. Let's take this and then let's take an empty bottle maybe. So you see this gives a value of 3, 2, 1 and empty. So these things gives different values. So here what I have done is basically used item frames which determine, it's like a lock, a safe lock. Um, the reason why too is because if you're basically somebody, you're walking around and you rotate this and then you're like, oh no, I want to rotate this back, and then suddenly they see this opening, then yeah, that's what you mean. So that's why I have two item frames. So if I put this like so, I would put it back to a point underneath. It would open, but if I turn this to a wrong direction, it would close. So basically what I'm using is this. You can just look at it how I did this, a little bit like that. So basically this redstone torch will open the door only when this redstone torch is off, and that happens when the redstone signal reaches to this point. If it reaches further, it will turn this torch off. And we can put this design also, like you can also hook another wire to this, another comparator wire to this, and then you basically have an AND gate, which means that both conditions need to be true in order for the door to open. Yeah, so that was the comparator. I'm trying to think of things that are also used. Okay, so the next thing I want to show you is a hopper. So basically, if you have a hopper, like this, I'm gonna use an item. Let's use a chest as well, like this. The hopper and the hopper, and we put it there, and the comparator, like, whoops, like this, and then we use some redstone. We drop an item in there. You see the comparator turned on for a second. The reason why is that this item traveled through this hopper, which is then registered by this comparator, and then eventually put into this chest. Now the thing why this, I think it didn't turn on, did it? I think it did. I think it was just the particles that didn't show up. But basically, if I would power this like so with a torch, I basically block this this hopper from sending items through. So if I would now put an item in there, it would stay on because the item is still in here. If I turn this off, the item would travel to the chest and the comparator turns off. So that's some basic hopper logic. There's some more logic I can show you, but that's not for this video. Now the cool thing about hoppers, of course, to make it secret, there are many ways to make it secret. First of all, of course, this is not secret at all. Everyone could see there's a hopper there and you could use it. The cool thing about this though is that the hopper checks items in the block above it. So even though if I would put a slab on there, slab, yeah, okay. Even if I put a slab on there, it would still take items because it was still in that one block space. See, so it traveled through. So if you would put your floor filled with half slabs, like right, you would not see the hopper and it would still work. Now another idea is using what could you use? Let's see if this works. I never tried this, but I know this exists. Basically, what if we take the same design over here? Actually, I do have a chest. What I'm doing? I guess we put this stuff over there. We also have the hopper minecart version, right? Okay. So what I'm going to do is I'm putting a comparator into the chest, right? Just to see if something landed into it. So normally if I would put something on there, picks it up, right? Okay. That's good, that's what we want. But a minecart hopper has, I think, a bigger detection range. So for instance, if I do this, nothing happens. Okay, that's awesome. Huh. Oh, okay. So as you can see, the block went through. So I think it has a bigger detection range on top of it. So even if I put this on it, a fill block above the hopper, it would pick it up. But I think if I put a slab on there, them, like this, and I would then throw the item on there, nothing works. And I think that's because the minecart hopper is like half a block further instead of this one. Yeah, because if I would do this, right, like this, right, if I put a block on top of it, nothing works. The thing is, if I do this, okay, still nothing works. So yeah, minecart hopper can detect above blocks. So you would not use you can actually use normal blocks, but then you would need a minecart hopper instead of a normal hopper. So basically, when an item goes through, you throw an item on a secret spot, and it would give you a signal, right? So it would give you a signal. So only you know where to throw an item.